Hey man, what the fuck going on? Key here. I'm here with another video. As y'all can see, man, we back with it. Doing a little interview. I got my boy
Brock. Yeah.
How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. You know, wanted to hop on here and just talk about some stuff, most definitely.
Alright, let them know like your background, who you are.
Basically, just an entrepreneur. I'm getting into the credit space a lot. I'm into real estate. Kind of just trying to do it all, and you know what I mean? Yeah.
For sure. So like, let them know like why it's like the credit, like why it's good to have credit and shit. Like,
man, look, bro. Credit is one of the most important things because, you know, that's how you can get the ability to actually go use institutions' money. You can use other people's money to go make more. You know what I'm saying? It's like most people are like, oh, I don't care about my credit score, this and that, which like that's cool and all, but you know, you can go get a bag a legal way. Like most people go do what they do and they do it illegally and whatnot, but the credit score is what's going to be able to allow you to go get loans, go pull out credit cards or whatnot, and then you can leverage that debt to make even more. Like that's how you scale. That's how you can get rich without being rich already. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people that got money, they already had money. But when you don't have it like that, you can get your credit established, do everything the right way, and take off, bro. Like that's why it's so important to me, you know, and I try to push that to other people because a lot of people like they just don't care about it or whatever the case is.
For real. Like I know some people out there, they got probably bad credit, you feel me? They want to know, like, do you do like credit repairs and stuff like that?
Yeah. So basically I did actually just start a company, like one of my businesses, that I am gonna start repairing people's credit and stuff. But so I do that, but my biggest thing is actually business credit, right? So that's kind of like the next step. It's like once you get your personal credit fixed, then you kind of step into the realm of business credit, and that's when you're bouncing around with like corporate cards and stuff like that. And that's when you can really turn it up due to certain factors on the business side, like, but you do like credit repair and stuff as well.
Like how the repair work? Can it can repair like a lot of stuff like car repossessions or nothing?
Man, look, bro.
I know a lot of people
yeah, bro. But like, look though, the craziest thing is you can take everything off, bro. And it's like one thing that I've been looking into is like consumer laws. You know, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, multiple things like that. Metro 2. You know, you can send in letters and you can request certain things from these companies and all the credit bureaus and stuff, and you know, you can get basically anything removed. I see people get bankruptcies taken off. I see people.
How long that take?
Weeks.
Damn, bro.
Maybe even sooner than that. I mean, it really just all depends, because like sometimes the credit bureaus, like you'll send them the letters and they'll try to stall you, bro, or they'll be like, oh no, we verified this debt, blah blah blah. But they can't verify that debt. There's certain things that they have to show you, which is like what a lot of the credit people do. Like they just know the certain laws. So when they're bullshitting you and they're like, oh, this debt's validated, woo woo this, then you can come back and say, okay, well if this is validated, you have to show me, you know, this piece of information and this. And if you can't show me this either has to come off, or I can actually go and sue you as the consumer. And when you go do that, you know, they're not trying to go to court and do all that stuff. So that's basically how that works in a nutshell.
How long you been into this?
So I've been doing the credit thing on the personal side and kind of on the business side for probably like 8 months now. But I didn't really realize the importance of it until lately, when I started networking a little bit more, meeting some more people, and I'm meeting these, you know, higher status people, and their credit's not that right. And it's like, damn, it's like you're doing all this stuff, but your credit's still not established when you can take it to the next level. So I just took the knowledge and what I've done for my personal like businesses and whatnot, and now I'm kind of just putting it out there and putting people on to certain things that they might not even know about. But I've been doing it for about 8 months now for my self, and then I kind of branched out to helping other people probably like 2 months now. So I'm still fresh in it, but a lot of the stuff I'm doing, I'm currently doing like for myself, family members, and close people like that. But yeah.
What's your prices?
Man, so honestly, if somebody wanted me to fix their credit, probably be like $250. Like it's not even that bad. Like it's on the low side, just because I understand that like I'm still newer and everything. And because I really want to help people out. Like some of these people charge you, $1,000 for all this stuff, and it's like, man, it shouldn't even be that much. So about $250, I'll fix somebody's credit.
So when they like take it off, like it's removed permanently, like can like people like can like car dealerships still like see a little like a shadow of it? Or?
Nah, bro, they nah. It's like, so it's completely off your credit profile like as a whole. Now sometimes though, to like piggyback on that, sometimes some credit repair people, they don't be doing it right, and they remove your stuff, but it's only removed for like 2 months, and then it gets put back on there. So you as the person that worked with them, you think they got it off, but then in 2 months you look back and they put it back on. Which that do be happening, but like a lot of the time, especially like with the Metro 2 letters, that's basically just a compliance system and stuff. And you know, a lot of the time they stuff be coming off in like 3 days, bro, 4 days.
So say if you like owe a credit card, right? And you check it off, they not gonna like bother you no more? Or how that
so it's subjective, right? But from what I've seen, no, I've never personally dealt with having to do that yet. All the people that I've dealt with, their debt was already like in collections and doing all this stuff. But what I will tell you is I do see and witness people that pull off car loans that people are still paying on, and credit cards that people are still paying on. So how that necessarily works like on the back end, I'm not sure, but I do know that it gets done. Like, it's definitely pretty powerful, because it's like, you got to think, bro, when you read the consumer laws and stuff, these companies, they're not allowed to do what they do. Like, they're not really allowed to report this stuff on your credit, because, like, obviously, if your credit's messed up, it messes with you and your personal life. I mean, if your credit messed up, you might not be able to go get a house. You might not be able to go get a car or an apartment. Like, that messes with you on a personal level, you know what I mean? So you can bring up certain things and be like, yo, y'all are doing this, it's affecting me and all that. So yeah, it's like pretty interesting though when you like get into it.
So nobody like put you on to it, or you all this you learned on your own? So
a lot of it I learned on my own, many books, audio books and things like that. And I'm really big on going into banks. Like, I'm really big on going into banks, like whether I'm trying to get a line of credit there or put in applications, I go do it in person. And the reason why is because I can, you know, make a connection with the actual bankers that like work at the bank. So over here in Peoria, actually, I'm tapped in with the head of business banking over here, and he told me kind of like a lot of the stuff that they look for at PNC specifically. Because it's like how it all starts is like how your business is set up and stuff, getting into the business side. But so it's kind of just a lot of stuff you see on social media, books, YouTube videos and things like that, and then what I've done myself. So that's kind of how I got put on, honestly.
So you never had to do that to your own credit?
You said what?
You never had to do that to yourself, like personally?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. My credit's always been good, bro, because I already knew, like, as soon as I turned 18, bro, I was like, no, I'm keeping it pristine. So I ain't never really had to fix nothing on mine. But what I did do was I went back and I got rid of all my old addresses, all my old names, all my phone numbers, just personal information like that, because it don't really need to be on there. And a lot of the time, that's how you can potentially fix someone's credit as well. Is like if they have a debt that's tied to an address, if you remove that address, whatever debt was tied to that address usually comes off too. I think everybody needs to know that credit is not the way your parents told you, bro. It's like me growing up, I was always told, like, don't get a credit card, don't use credit, this, and this. But as I got older, I realized, like, it's the best to use credit. You can do all these things, leverage all this stuff, all with money that's not really yours. I mean, obviously, you got to go back and pay it, don't get me wrong. But it's like you can get that initial upfront money to go make more, which is powerful, bro. Like, people just don't put two and two together, or they use their credit incorrectly. Like, someone might go get a credit card for $1,000. They go run it up, spend the whole $1,000, and then don't look back. It's like, nah, bro, you gotta take that $1,000, go do something with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let them know something like what though? Like what's a smart move?
All right, man. So, I mean, the smartest move that you could literally do, bro, is one, get your credit fixed. So, like, whether you work with me, whether you work with somebody else, there's plenty of people that can help you fix your credit. So, like, once you get your credit fixed, you're good there. Now you can start applying for certain cards on the personal side, do everything correctly, but then that's when I would branch out to getting the business credit started. So that's when you open up a LLC. Super easy. You can like go to websites. Inkfile is one website where they'll set up an LLC, or you can even just set up an LLC on the government site for your state. Either one works, and it's like now that you have a business entity, you can build the business credit that's separate from the personal side, and then that's when you really get more access to funding and stuff. So I think something really smart is just no matter what you got going on, get your credit right, and then start just getting those connections with all these institutions and just reading up and learning how you can take the credit that you've obtained and leverage that into a business to make more money.
Well, for somebody out there that's struggling, you know, money not looking good, you feel me, credit fucked up, how do they go about it?
Right, yeah, no, most definitely. So like actually a couple people I'm working with now are literally in that boat, right? So it's like they need some money now, but obviously they can't, you know, they credit messed up. So basically what I'm doing is I'm gonna send out the letters, do what I do to get their credit fixed, you know, so the personal side is good. Once all that's, you know, fixed, and then we get the trade lines on there that actually, because like there's certain accounts that you can use to build your credit, right? So some is like Ava, Kickoff, Kovo is one of them, and there's many more. Like I put Instagram Reels out that got them, but you put the trade lines on there. Once that's good, now you can go get cards. You can take cards out and you can use that money to live on, do what you got to do for the time being. I mean, obviously it's not the best way to use the debt, but you got to do what you got to do. It's like a lot of people that I know is they actually lived on business credit completely, so they didn't have to work a job. So it's like they do all this the right way. They walk into a credit union or a bank, two of them. They walk out with $20,000 each on a credit card. Okay, if you do things right, you can live on $40,000 for a decent amount of time until you get a business idea or figure out what you're gonna do. So
true.
Yeah. I mean, it really all just starts with getting that credit right, bro.
Like, what's your future plans with this, like the credit line? Like, do you plan on like having a big ass company, or you feel like it can't get like that?
Oh no, it definitely can. I mean, there's really no limit to like what the goals are as far as it goes, because it's like right now I'm just in the process of building it up, because like once you have access to all that credit, possibilities are endless, bro. Like you could go do a business idea, you can go invest in real estate. Like I'm literally about to buy a property with zero of my own money, bro. Like utilizing credit and then utilizing somebody else that like partners with me. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you have all that accessible, there's so many different opportunities. But like for me, yeah, bro, it's kind of just like I want to build them up so I can buy a bunch of real estate. I can start or invest in some businesses and basically just live the lifestyle I want. Because if you utilize things correctly and, you know how to leverage your debt and bounce your debt around, you can live luxurious on credit and still be okay if you do everything the right way and still make hella bread. Like that's what a lot of people do. So yeah, that's kind of the main goal for me right now. And like I want to be able to teach people how to do it and put people on, bro. Because it's like for me, I feel like I taught myself a lot of the stuff. And it was like nobody ever really like taught me like that, besides like YouTube and whatnot. So that's why I'm kind of like, man, that's why I want to make content and do what I do so people can pick up on it, you know?
Like how long it be taking you like when you got like a lot of clientele and shit? Like,
so
knock them out quick, or it be taking like a minute?
So right now, I mean, it gets done pretty quick. I try to get the letters sent out within 3 days of us talking. So like if somebody comes to me and they're like, hey, I want your help, blah, blah, blah. Once they actually send me all the documentation, probably give me like 3 days to even send them out. But you know, after that, kind of like I want to say like wait like 30 days before you hear anything, because technically the credit bureaus and all these companies, they have 30 days. So like sometimes they be stalling, they don't get back to you for 2 weeks, you know what I mean? But sometimes they get back to you
with 30 days. They got no choice but to
take it off. It's coming off, bro. Yep. And then if they don't, that's when you can sue. Like you can sue them. And a lot of the time when people do that, that's a whole other play in itself. Like people will go after and try to sue these companies on purpose, And then they'll be like, dang, like they want to take it to court. They'll be like, well, instead of us going to court, we'll give you $2,000. And people be like, yeah, I need that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a whole other thing that people do. I'm not like too big into that yet, like the actual suing and like litigation and whatnot. But it's definitely a thing for sure.
Why is real estate a good idea to get into?
Man, because it's just real estate is probably the best asset class to be in. Like, you get cash flow potentially, you get appreciation, so like you get equity in properties, and then also you get the tax benefits too. So it's like if you own some properties and you made a certain amount of money and you gotta pay taxes, you can write off a lot of that with your properties and whatnot, save a lot in taxes. And that's just powerful, bro. It's like if you look at the stats, most people that are actually rich and wealthy, they own real estate, bro. It's just cool.
Do you gotta have money to start? Or?
No, bro, and that's one of the things I be trying to push, especially with credit, because it's like, for one, I'm buying a property, no money. That's dope, right? And people can do that every single day because, you know, you use a credit card, that's not your money. That's how you can enter a deal. That's how you can buy a house, have, you know, do it your equity or whatever your case is. You can even flip a house, put work into it. But the cool thing about it is the credit allows you to do basically anything with a property. So if you find a good deal and let's say it's $120,000, you're gonna buy it. It needs maybe $60,000 in work, but once it's all said and done, it'll be worth $300,000, which that's a great deal, right? But you know, where's the $120,000 come from? Well, what you can do is you can go get a hard money loan, which is just basically a high interest loan that someone gives you to like do investments and stuff. But you need a down payment. So where's the down payment come from? The credit card. So it's like I'm gonna use my line of credit or my credit card to go secure this loan. Now I have all the money I need without spending any of my money. I do what I do, and now this property I just bought for 120, I'm all into the deal. Let's say 210,000 because stuff goes above budget. I'm all in for 210, but now I could potentially sell the property for the 300,000 it's worth, or I could even refinance out with the bank and keep the property and take that refinance money and pay off my credit card and pay off my loan. So there's so many different things, man. It's like you don't even have to have money to start, especially if you have credit. It's all about your connections and your ability to leverage debt, honestly.
So like, do you got like somebody behind you that help you with this? This all you, like this all like.
Yeah.
So when you read and stuff, sign and shit, like this just all you.
Pretty much. I mean, in some deals I got partners. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I got partners for some deals. Like the house I'm buying with like no money, I'm gonna own it with somebody else. Like it'll be 50-50. But like
all your knowledge and reading, like understanding is all.
Oh yeah, bro. That's yeah, no, that's all me, bro. I'm so big on just learning like how to be extremely successful, bro. Like I just go back, I look at the knowledge, I look at successful people, what they've done, and I'm in contact with a lot of like upper level people. So it's like talking to them and experiencing what they experience. It's like, okay, cool, like do this, and do this. And like a big part of it is like getting your mindset right too.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright. So what's like one crazy play that can get somebody a jump start?
Right, okay. So alright, so this is pretty cool, but like not a lot of people know this. So one, it's gonna be the whole credit thing, doing the business credit, doing all that, right? That's gonna be one. But the biggest thing that I learned recently, and shout out to Bags a Million on Instagram because he's the one who put me on. But low key, basically when you file your taxes, there is a there's like a form that you're supposed to report any income that you made that's not on paper. Like it even says that if you sold drugs, that you got to report that income to the IRS. Seriously, like it's on the forms, right? So what you can do is theoretically, like let's say you have a business, right? And you can basically write down in there that you made 100,000 from your side hustle. And what you'll do is you'll pay the taxes on that 100,000, right? But you know, you got all cash. You know, let's say you're like reselling clothes. Like that's super big. A lot of people resell clothes, they resell shoes. Okay, so you made $100,000 reselling clothes and shoes. You only accepted cash. The IRS is gonna be like, okay, cool. Just pay us the tax on that $100,000 you made, and you're cool. Okay, so you know you pay however much that is. Let's say it's like 12, 13 bands for the 100 you made in tax. You pay that 13 bands. Now you have a form, you have a tax return that shows you made $100,000 in a side hustle. That's when you can take that form and you can walk into a bank and be like, hey, I need $30,000 for this, this, and this, and here's a tax return that shows that I made $100,000 last year with my side business, right? And the cool part about it is you can take it a step further, and somebody might even be like, okay, well, where does $13,000 come from to pay the taxes? Okay, cool. In the midst of you doing this, you built your business credit, and you already got a business card that got $20,000 on it. Take $20,000 off that card to pay the taxes to get the form to go make more money.
Oh yeah, so it's like a cycle.
Yeah, I mean, it gets like that, you know, especially like with the way I think, like certain things. But like, yeah, it's definitely a way to go, because like a lot of people don't know.
That's decent as hell.
Yeah, bro.
Shit decent.
Because it's like, bro, if you have a tax return that shows you made that, the bank ain't gonna argue with you, bro. They're gonna be like, oh, this is an IRS form. Like, he made $100,000. He paid the tax on it. It's gonna help you immensely.
They have to give you it, or they can't decline it.
So I'm not gonna say they have to give it to you, but if everything is established the right way and you have that form, you're probably gonna walk out with more than you walked in with. Like, I mean, obviously, if you ask for 50, they might be like, okay, we're not gonna give you 50, but like, we'll give you 30. That's still a win. You know what I mean? That's 100% a win. And the cool part about it is a lot of people don't know that you can turn your credit card into cash, bro. Without a cash advance, without doing no crazy stuff. Literally what you do is you get your credit card, right? Let's say you got a balance, you got a limit, like 10,000 limit. What you can do to turn that into cash with no fees, you don't got to deal with none of that. You can walk into the Apple store, buy, let's say 4 MacBooks, right? After everything is said and done, that's probably like six bands. What you do is you split the payment up. So you pay for the MacBooks on your credit card, but let's say you tell the person behind the counter, like, okay, I want to pay for my MacBooks with this card, but I want to pay the taxes on this card, which is your debit card.
Right.
So you do that, boom. Next day or a couple of days later, you go back in, return the MacBooks, and when they ask you, okay, what card do you want it on? Make sure it goes back on the debit card. So now you just turned your credit, and it, you turn it into cash, because they taking that whole balance and they putting it back on your debit card.
Oh, okay.
So you just turn credit into cash, just like that. So if you ever needed cash for something, or you needed cash to pay off a different piece of debt or whatever, that's how you can do it, bro.
Bro, I ain't even know that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, it get like that too. Like, it get like crazy, especially when you start really thinking about it, and once you really learn how the shit works. Like, you just learn how to leverage